Celeb Secrets is here hanging out with Michael Murphy and Elle Mills, Ciara Riley Wilson, and Ava Capri, and we are going to be talking about your new film, Reply. So can you tell us a little bit about the film and about the characters that each of you play?
Reply is a queer love story short film written and directed by Elle Mills herself. It's her directorial debut. And it's kind of about a boy who finds his mom's old VHS tapes in the attic and compiles a short film telling the story of her last summer in 2006 before she goes off to college. I play Casey, who is a very curious and ambitious 17-year-old girl who does this big project at the end of her summer, and she unexpectedly meets her neighbor, Hayden.
I know that this film was not only directed by you, but also written by you. So where did the inspiration come from for Reply overall?
I think over the pandemic, I've always wanted to make a film, but always been too scared. And I think, with the time I just wrote something out. I think the intention was to make the film I wish I had growing up. I grew up loving 2000s teen movies, and to have a queer 2000s teen movie was always the dream. So I think that was the intention going into it, and just making something that felt, as my first film, that felt very me. And I do think that this film is me as like my vibe as a film.
This film will be streaming on Creator Plus, which kind of throws digital creators into full-length projects just to expand their realm a bit. So how do you think that this platform is changing the film industry?
It's bridging a gap, I think, which is really cool. And that's why I love Creator Plus. When this partnership kind of came about, it was like the perfect place for Reply, because this was my first step from the digital space into the more traditional filmmaking space. And so I think that's really cool that they're giving digital creators like the resources to make that happen, because it can seem daunting.
This platform's amazing and very inspiring to be like the catalyst for people, creators specifically, who want to do really big things.
It's putting a focus on the content, the actual project, and I feel like sometimes in digital space that you can like shy away from that, just because it becomes so saturated and there's other intentions with the digital space. But that's why I love Creator Plus, for bringing it back to what it is all about, and that's about stories and telling stories.
What do you hope that the fans take away from this film, if they could take away one thing?
I think what's really special about this is, especially because it's a queer love story of two young girls and it also has all of these themes of like the early 2000s and nostalgia and like those classic like rom-coms. I don't think I've ever seen those two things put together before. And I know that's why Elle wanted to make this project. So I hope that, the fans and people who watch it feel like represented. I
feel like I really wanted to create representation in like a normalcy to a queer love story. Like I feel like there wasn't too much of a coming out angle to it, and as important as those stories are, I do think it's like, I feel like we should be pushing in the direction of like, it's just two girls who are falling for each other. So that's kind of the message I wanted to portray, and also just like that. I feel like, because the whole story's from the perspective of a 14-year-old boy, I think it's just reminding people that love can be pure and wholesome, and just like, I think reminding people of that childlike view of things.
And kind of like you mentioned, this film is very unique, given that it's a queer film, but then also has a lot of early 2000s aspects. It's really unlike anything that people have seen before. So how does it feel being a part of something that's so different and so monumental?
Really cool.
I think the film turned out amazing. I think Ciara's amazing in it.
Thank you.
And we shot it all on film, and so I think it looks really beautiful. And I love the way Elle wrote it and the storytelling, playing with present and past.
Do you guys have a favorite memory from on set or a funny story that you can share?
When Elle sat me down and said, I have this short film that I really want to make. It's just this one thing.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that one thing? No, I'm not going to tell you yet. 2.5 weeks later. So I need a tree house. And then basically spending the entire next 2 months of my life trying to find a tree house location in LA that we can like make look like we're building it, and that whole process. That was real fun.
Yeah.
That's my favorite memory.
There were these montage scenes where I was like trying a bunch of new things and they wanted me to like smoke a cigarette.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And it was like the end of the day, I was really tired. And I was like, yeah, I've smoked cigarettes. Like, I know what to do. And then I got up there and I fully lit it at the wrong end. And then I put my mouth on the part that I just lit on fire.
But it makes it in the film.
But it makes it in the
so
film.
cute. It's like the
like,
cutest, most like organic
Yeah.
like thing. Yeah.
Which, and it makes sense for the
Yeah,
character
like
that
young.
she wouldn't know.
Yeah,
but
that's really cute.